Building Resilience Through Adversity and Failure Chapter 1. The nature of resilience. From vulnerability to strength, resilience is not an innate quality, but a skill that develops throughout life. We often perceive resilience as the ability to endure hardships without visible consequences, but in reality, it is the capacity to adapt, recover, and grow despite stressful events. Understanding the nature of resilience begins with acknowledging human vulnerability. Vulnerability is not weakness, but the foundation for building strength. People who face difficulties become aware of their limits and then learn how to overcome them. Modern psychological research emphasizes that resilience is closely linked to characteristics such as self-regulation, self-awareness, supportive social connections, and positive thinking. It is a complex trait that includes both cognitive and emotional aspects of personality. Resilience does not mean the absence of pain or fear. It means the ability to move forward despite these feelings. Historically, many philosophical schools, especially Stoicism, emphasized the importance of inner resilience. The Stoics taught acceptance of events as they are and focusing on what is within our control. This approach fosters inner strength, allowing a person to maintain balance even in the most difficult situations. Chapter 2. The role of failure as a catalyst for growth. Failure is an inevitable part of life. It is painful and can cause self-doubt, but it often becomes the starting point for personal growth. Paradoxically, it is in moments of failure that we most often encounter the potential for transformation. Losing a job, ending a relationship, or failing in business, each of these situations can mark the beginning of a new chapter if one is willing to learn. In psychology, there is the concept of post-traumatic growth, a phenomenon where a person becomes stronger, more confident, and wiser after enduring hardships. Such growth does not happen automatically. It requires awareness, support, and time. The key factor is the ability to see failure not as an end, but as the beginning of a new journey. Failures teach us humility. They show us that we are not omnipotent and push us to seek new approaches and change our mindset. Successful entrepreneurs, athletes, and artists often emphasize that it was failure that played a decisive role in their development, rather than destroy. Failures can build a powerful inner core. Chapter 3. Psychological mechanisms of resilience. Psychology of resilience involves several mechanisms that help people cope with adversity. One of the most important is cognitive reappraisal, the ability to interpret a difficult situation differently by finding meaning in it. People with high resilience can shift their focus from seeing a problem as a threat to viewing it as an opportunity. Another crucial mechanism is emotional regulation. Resilient people do not suppress their emotions, but know how to manage them. Recognize, accept, and express them constructively. Mindfulness practice helps develop this skill by enhancing the ability to stay present and avoid destructive thought patterns. Supportive relationships also play a vital role. Empathy, care, and the opportunity to share experiences reduce stress and aid in recovery. Resilience is not only an individual skill, but also a social resource. People surrounded by support experience difficulties more easily. Lastly, growth mindset introduced by Carol Dweck is significant. People with this mindset believe that abilities develop through effort. They see difficulties as part of the path to mastery rather than as proof of inadequacy. Chapter 4. Practices and strategies. For developing resilience requires regular practice. One of the first steps is keeping a journal to track difficulties and strategies for overcoming them. This helps increase self-awareness, monitor progress, and identify behavioral patterns. Physical activity contributes not only physiologically, but also psychologically. Regular exercise promotes endorphin production, reduces anxiety, and strengthens the sense of control over one's body and life. Meditation and breathing exercises help regulate emotions and restore inner balance. It is also essential to cultivate self-compassion, the ability to speak to oneself with kindness and respect. An internal critic can be destructive, but the voice of an inner friend can offer support during tough times. Cognitive behavioral techniques, such as challenging irrational beliefs and forming positive affirmations, help change one's internal dialogue. Learning stress management and adaptive planning skills prepares a person for future challenges. This includes developing cognitive flexibility, the ability to shift perspectives quickly and to find new solutions. It is important to remember that resilience is not armor, but elasticity, the ability to bend without breaking. Conclusion: adversity and failure are integral parts of human life. They bring pain, doubt, and fear, but also open the door to profound transformations. Developing resilience begins with acknowledging one's vulnerability and continues through mindfulness, support, learning, and inner work. Resilience is not about never falling. It's about getting up again and again. It is the belief that every crisis can become a resource, every loss a lesson, and every failure a starting point for new growth. There is no universal recipe for this journey, but there are many tools, each a building block for a strong, flexible, and capable self. By developing resilience, we not only strengthen ourselves, but also become a source of support for others, a beacon of inspiration, empathy, and hope. It is through overcoming challenges that we discover our true strength, not destructive, but creative, making us truly alive.